fascinating how some animals have such a huge impact on their environment around them, such as this pretty large elephant bull, who, I don't know if he was the guilty culprit for pushing this marula tree over, but a marula tree has been pushed over by some elephants, and he's now feasting away on some of the smaller branches. And very delicately manipulating one of the thicker branches with his trunk up into his mouth, and he's then rolling it around in there because they're seeking either the smaller branches and leaves, which are pretty tasty, but the primary goal of this and what this elephant's doing now is he's after the cambium layer. The cambium layer is essentially the transport system of a tree. It transports the water from the roots up to the leaves where they photosynthesize, and then the sugars and the carbohydrates that are manufactured through photosynthesis then get transported back down through the phloem. So it goes up through the xylem, down through the phloem, and those essentially make up the cambium layer, which is the soft, tasty part of the bark, which sits just underneath the rough, hard, crusty bark on the outside. Very nutritious, elephants love it, they push trees over, essentially killing the trees. So we're now enjoying at least this elephant feeding away here. But as you drive around Londolozi, and I know some of the other parts of the Kruger National Park, some of the other reserves around here, elephants are decimating the marula population. And as you can see, there's this marula tree right here. If an elephant does tear off some of the bark, it can form calloused scars around that and protect itself, as long as there is some bark connecting, or some cambium layer connecting the roots up to the leaves. The tree will survive. But if they ring bark it and take the bark off completely, there's no transport system, and essentially the tree will die. Or if they just push it over, then the tree's obviously not going to survive. But this elephant is having a tasty breakfast this morning on a pretty cool, cloudy day, so it's always great to spend time with large elephants. We did have a brief sighting on the way across here of a smaller herd of elephants rolling around in the mud, with a few younger ones in there just playing. And it's not necessarily a hot day, but I think they were just full of excitement, and I had a little spontaneous mud bath, which It's always great to watch and see those little ones having a bit of fun in the mud. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, do that now. We'll keep you in the loop with some more of these epic videos. But thanks for watching. But we're going to carry on now, see what else we can find for the morning. But hope you've enjoyed watching this little Ellie have a delicious breakfast. We're going to hopefully get into a leopard sighting or something. It's late in the morning now, and we have headed into the deep south because the Mashaba female has been found, and it's been quite some time since we saw her last. So we're now sitting with her, and for a leopard that was born in 2008, she's 16 years old and looking in pretty impressive condition for the oldest leopard that we see on Londolozi currently. And I guess we'd never really know when our last time is that we're going to see the Mashaba female, and so any time spent with her is always great. And just to see her moving around, she initially was just resting under a little tree here, but she's got up because she can hear some impala males rutting just in the thickets off to the side. So she's now gone across there to investigate and potentially hunt. And so let's see what happens, but just to spend some time with her and see her moving around is always great, particularly after a pretty epic elephant sighting this morning. Right, so the impala have moved on. I think they might have actually seen her and are now alarm calling at her. So she's now ducked off into some of the thicker vegetation, and we're not going to stick with her for too much longer because I think she's wanting to try and hunt, and by us crashing through here we're going to affect her hunt. So we're going to move on and let her be, but always epic to see the Mashaba female.